Hello.
Evening. Okay.
We are on page Chav Zayin Os Yud Beis.
Okay, let me share here. Okay, Elsiud base. Askira, what's the word? Overview. Hara Sakoach Eloki Achai, which sees the divine power which is alive, upoel, and acts active. V'tofos Gvurosov in its soaring power. Bramus Kocho and the loftiness of his holiness, B'chol Misibos HaTeva, in all the arenas, I think would be the way proper translation of nature. And all the pathways of the spirits of man, and all the complexities of wars, and all of the content of the foolishness of people and nations. It arranges a divine light on the totality of the world. So it's a fascinating idea. In other words, if you can see in stupidity, if you can see in stupidity and foolishness the divine plan, you're in great shape. So that is somehow in the Sibuchei Milchamos and Tatui Aishim Ma'amim, you can see that Koach Eloki, and then seeing that in and of itself brings a holy light to the totality of the world. In Chaber says Hanefesh Olamis, it unites the spirit of the world, the soul of the world, which is here means the nefesh in the sense of nefesh ruach neshama, meaning the material existence of the world, imrucham nishmasu, with its spirit and with its soul. So you see all those things which you enumerated, halichos ruchos adam, sibuchei milchama, tachnei tatuei shimamim. These are all the nefesh of the world, and by seeing how it has koach eloki chayim poel, it unites it with its ruach and neshama. Mageres is called mipol. It unites everything in this great project. V'amaaseh hamusutar, and the deed which is hidden, b'chagvei sloim, in the nooks of stones, usitrei majgos, and the hidden places behind the steps. El kol gilu golui, and everything which is revealed by Mofia and is apparent, but plios and noros, with awesome wonders. Biyad chazakov, with a strong hand and a powerful arm. Boso sumimofsim, with signs and wonders. Begilu shchina of zvua meira, and Emira, and with the revelation, divine revelation and illuminating prophecy. Well, if you can do all these things, then you're an amazing person. And somehow you're experiencing something very powerful. You are, it's akin, evidently, because I don't think it's outright, divine revelation and illuminating prophecy. This connection, which is an intellectual one, because you see this Koach Eloki intellectually in everything, even things that seem to be very far from the Koach Eloki. It perfects the quality of a human being. It sustains the world. When the light of Israel is revealed by the profundity of wisdom, and the depths of emunah to see, in other words, when you achieve this madrega, all the occurrences, from the beginning of the most ancient times of creation, until the very end of the last days. Adheros, that they are impelled by uplifting mighty spiritual movements. Ophosichlios, phenomena which reveal themselves intellectually, umusarios, and ethically, melios, and are full, vitovos, and good. Chidushei chokmos, they entail new vistas of wisdom, malinis gavim, and higher forms of the various different disciplines which go into them, various different bodies of knowledge, which are these gavim, lofty, mushuchlim, and sophisticated. Kol aros torios, all the Torah illuminations, bekochos klalim, in the general forces, upratim, and the specific ones. Kol zohei ruach, that should be kodesh, even though I have some other word here. All the radiance of the divine spirit, b'chlash both tzaddikim misodei olamim, and all the influence of tzaddikim were the foundations of the world. Hein begormem al yetachtim, they and their causes on high and below. How kol tnuas olamim gedoy lo achusa bahem, and all of them, a great movement of worlds is taking hold. The movement of the illumination of the light of Mashiach. Shibra was created before the world was created, and therefore is the ultimate purpose of the world. Anytime they're revealed phenomena and events, Rayanos, machshavos, ideas and thoughts, Larim Neishal Kirub Gul Yeshua, to uplift a flag of bringing closer the redemption and the salvation. Whether it's material or spiritual. Hadas Makeres is or Hashem Achaya Mofir Bahem. Wisdom recognizes the light of the living light of God which appears in them. And the voice of God that cries out, that speaks and cries out from amongst them. And the more wisdom is effective at recognizing this koach Eloki, and to understand it, is going to be able to figure out more explicitly the illuminations of the various different arenas. And will strain them onto their purposes. And the hidden lights will be combined with revealed lights. Nature will be unified with miracles by a strong and lofty bond, or not. Then the I remember this passage. It's from Shira's Dvorah, I think. I don't remember exactly what it means. Then a remnant will come down to the mighty among the nation. Hashem will come down to me among my heroes. And I guess that's what happened by the war against Sisera. That Hashem manifested himself in the war which Dvorah and Barak waged against Sisera. All of this intellectual perfection, which makes whole the emunah, and gives strength to life, to act and to do. To seek and to quest. It's supposed to Yeshua to yearn for the salvation, to serve the divine service and the service of Israel, his nation. It's the working with heaven and working with earth. The Yachta Shmai of Ara, to unify heaven and earth. It comes in its perfection based on those levels. So Roshel Mashiach, upon which the light of Mashiach shines and is revealed in them. It includes all the spirits possible in this world. Ruach Hashem, the divine spirit, Ruach Mebina, a Ruach of knowledge and understanding, Ruach Eitzah, a Ruach of counsel and power, Ruach Das, Ruach of wisdom, Yiras Hashem, and fear of God. And the light of the spiritual resurrection comes ever more revealed. and there sprouts up and it flowers the light of the messianic resurrection, Hazizo, which is very powerful. Haba Taras Yuchanabasa comes to purify the stench of the flesh, meaning the imperfection of this world, as Zumas and Achosh, the pollution of the snake, the Shorsh Kochet, and the source of every sin. L'samech es olam, to give the world rejoicing, maloso ava v'chedva, to fill it with love and with joy. To basoras itzavona b'sari, by removing the anguish of the flesh, hamukushar, which is bonded, imasirachon ha. Not sure the next word is.
Toladati.
Okay, with the genetic, in other words, the inborn repugnance, has the same us which blocks up any manifestation of a spirit of purity. Mashiach comes to do this. He comes to transcend this fleshy world. Hashem, he can smell out people Yirei Hashem. Below the doesn't judge by his what he sees. Below the Mishmael doesn't rebuke based on what he hears, but rather he sees the things internally with his divine power. And he judges with justice the impoverished, and he demonstrates that which is smooth to the humble in the earth. Because people smite the land not with a rod, but the rod of his mouth. With the spirit of his lips, he will be able to kill the wicked. That's about Mashiach, all that. This resurrection, which adds life of wisdom, the recognition of eternity, to the cognition of the position of strength, of power, of security that is in the life of the spirit. As a chorus, shikus the recognition of the falsehood of death. As a source called pachad shabachol etzanit, and the removal of any empty fear and any distorted sadness. This would be the beginning of the period of the illumination of the light, which comes to Tchias HaMesim, with all its power, of course, not in the early stages, but the sense of that light coming on. These eternal lights, these lights which illuminate the world, they come together with the manifestation of the unity of miracle nature, which will be united by those who have the intelligence of understanding purity. Who gaze with security, with absolute revelation, as Yad Hashem Elkei Yisroel, the hand of the God of Israel, and all the changes of the epics. And they recognize the bubbling, the boiling in history. Tibios Velomios, whether they be natural or transcend natural, supernatural. They understand that all of this is embedded in Mirosh Kadmos HaYitzira. It's all part of the master plan from the ancient times of creation. Before the mountains were born, and the land and all that fills it was initiated. From world to world, from before the world to afterworld. Atokel, you are God. Tashev and El Shadako, you will return, will stay with man to his demise. Vatoma, and say to him, Shuvah b'nei Adam, return people. Lones v'yatibius ma'acha. Hashem does not forsake nature in its march, onwards march. And history which is wrapped up, mired in its various arenas, is not a widow. It's not alone. There's the divine within it lives the divine, the powerful Redeemer. Tsuri Sabagalo, Rock of Israel's Redeemer. Hashem's focus Shemo, his name is the Lord of Hosts. Okay, but Kobasar, the God of all flesh. Okay, it's the God of all nations of the world. Adon Kol Maasim, the master of all things which are made. Suklamim, the designer of all the worlds. Zevuchados, the righteous in all generations. Lo Asanabo Shumnes, the Lord never made a miracle. Im Ksharto le'ezu tabas tibis, without tying it on to some natural ring. Interesting language of tabas. Some natural cause. I feel good not even if it's weak and small. The miracles are enhanced nature, they don't transcend nature, which is a sheet in miracles. The symbolic thinkers thought about this many different thoughts, which went away like shadows. And the mysterious truth will express its words in all the might of its power. Do you have the word rachus next?
Yeah, with the sum.
Rachus.
Rachus or
Rachus nu
ravus.
duck. Rachus is like a staple.
Ah.
Darush tamid lios mi'olam el yom. It's like something which is stapled together. I guess there's this. There has to be some connection to the higher world. Is from the control of the manifestation of the control of the neshama. Which comes into the lower world. Hamukbam to some which is limited and constricted, but TV so in its nature. Gam sham gam po, and there's a correlation both above in heaven and down below on earth. Amalchim kibuim sudarim, all the pathways are set and arranged. The chachma with wisdom, b'chofesh, that's interesting, with freedom. Below kodesh with complete holiness. B'kol loch bar, everything becomes more and more illuminated. Based on the fruitfulness of the radiance of cognition of the higher form of Chacham Yisrael, which is knowing how things fit into the master plan. This, of course, is akin to Nevuah, because to understand things like this is like a Nevuah, and a clear lens to see how things are working out. I know Senes Aleim as Ziba Mehod Karnel. This lens bestows its radiance with the majesty of its rays. So just like that, the wisdom will shine like Samagama to recognize the purpose of all the many arenas. Leches im kulan, to go to all of them. Baruch Hashem Hashem Meir Mechayeh, and bless the name of God, which illuminates and sustains and gives life. This arranges and enhances everything. I will bless God at all times. Always his praise in my mouth. Hashem Amshulab Shalabaya Vanus. Okay, the name which is intertwined of Avaya, the word which transcends, the name which transcends this world. Vanus and mastery, the name of this world. Me'iram Ofia illuminates and appears Bikarti Farto in the precious quality of its glory. B'chol Rasav, with all its lights. Makorosav, its sources. Mabuav, its fountains. Mayanav, its springs. Chotzur Favalivusav, and all of its permutations and all of its manifestations. B'chol Tamav Makorosav, and all of its trup and all of its vowels. Tagin in all of its crowns, and all of its letters, of course. Leisa Charusa Eshtas, in the heart of the Jew, there is embedded a fire of this religion. Matros Omi Mechot Noasachem, which entails all purposes for all movements of life, and of course the Targum Mitzvahs in Torah. to all existence, Bavar in the past, Hoveh, the present, the Atid in the future. V'akol miflasei ha'ananim, and through all the levels, the layers of clouds, Ora Kodesh Yachtor, the Holy Light will penetrate. Hinei Hashem Elokim, here is Hashem, b'chazak yavo. He'll come with strength. Uzra Moshe Lo. His arm will be controlling. His reward is with him and his activities before him. Everything comes according to the amount of activity and the expansion of the hearing of what the Torah has to say to us. The Torah based on the expansion of Torah, and based on the dissemination of the well springs, which spreads the water from the spiritual depths. Based on the controlling or the bestowing control of the majesty of the Chachma, which is given to us as a divine heritage. The best message only speaks truth b'shem Hashem, in the name of God. And all the thoughts of man are even though they're frivolous. The hay might dry, the bud on the fruit might dry, might wilt. But the word of God is to stay forever. So again, Kedarka B'Kodesh, Rav Kook did not explain how to do this, but he's saying that this phenomenal perspective of finding the holiness and the koach Eloki in everything has all these amazing ramifications.
It occurred to me while we were learning that, and you'll probably may have a different example, but it sounds very similar to me what Emerson writes in English, the style, sort of a charismatic, quasi religious type, that's the way he writes. It's like he writes like a religious and a secular writing intertwined, so to speak. But this isn't secular, but it's sort of the writings of Emerson never made any sense to me. I was always frustrated by them. I read them many years ago, but I could never really find what they were trying to say, is what I mean.
Well, basically what he's saying here is if you can change your outlook, it's incredible.
Right. But all of the adjectives and the descriptions and the sort of hints and examples, it's a stylistic type writing, very highly stylized.
The French have a word. The word is Elan.
Elan, yes.
E-L-A-N. So
yes, it has a certain style or
yes.
A pathway. It's
Yes,
that's exactly it. Yeah. It's very highly stylized, and it's not aiming at a particular point. It's just sort of
I'm going to read the translation. I just found vocabulary.com. Elan comes from the French word meaning to dart, and is often spelled Elan. Some with Elan can be said to dart around with enthusiasm and unique flair. Music art can have Elan, and so can someone's wardrobe. Elan can also mean zeal or eagerness in favor of a person or a cause. So don't let this boring sounding now fool you. Elan has a lot of pizzazz up his sleeve.
It's beautiful. It's very beautiful. Very, very beautiful prose. Very, very amazing. It's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to dig out Emerson. I'm gonna have to dig out my little book of Emerson and see if I could see what that says again.
Okay. So the main thing is, so you take from tonight is that, which is very difficult in our pessimistic times. I mean, again, as we say all the time, Rav Kook was written in this is in the teens and 20s. I guess in the 20s primarily, was a much more optimistic time, relatively speaking. But this idea is that a person has to try and find this. How do you begin the paragraph again? Beginning was very important. It says, הכוח אלוקי החי ופועל בתופוס גבורותיו ורמוס קודשו בכל מסיבות הטבע. Okay. We should
All
be
right,
able to
very
find
good.
it.
Yes, have a ksiva chasima toiva.
Well, I think we'll still meet once before the new year, no?
Oh, we do? Okay, good.
It's Wednesday night, right? Rosh Hashanah is Wednesday night, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so we'll try for next Tuesday.
Okay,
Okay.
good.
Have a
Very
good
good.
night. Okay, bye.
Yeah, you too. Take care.